with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So Biden is bombing Syria already. It didn't take long to get back to the status quo, did it? Just straight into it, old Sleepy Joe, fucking out there just bombing shit. He honestly needs to be reminded he's president every fucking morning. Why is there no fucking backlash in the media about this? Haven't heard a fucking word about it. I had to fucking scrounge through Google to find it. But fuck the media anyway. I haven't heard any of those anti-Trumpers who have been fucking bitching and complaining for the last 4 fucking years about that cunt being the devil. Haven't heard fucking boo from those cunts condemning the airstrikes against Syria. It's so fucking annoying. Not a fucking single tweet, Instagram post, Facebook fucking post from anyone I know about this. And my fucking feed has just been filled with Trump hate for the last fucking 4 years over every single fucking tweet he did. People are basically saying we don't really care about the bombings as long as it's our guy doing the bombings. Anyway, I can't be fucked with that shit. I had to physically stop myself from posting something today because I didn't want to get into an argument with some fucking fat open micer that's probably transitioning. Anyway, fuck it, I can't stand it. It's not even so much the bombings. It's more about how much the media and the big tech companies are controlling the entire narrative now. From the US elections to the COVID bullshit to the fucking vaccine rollout, the whole entire thing is just fucking curated by the media outlets and big tech, and everyone just fucking falls into line. And even the people that aren't falling into line, even the people who are fucking questioning it, putting their hands up, excuse me, this kind of smells like horse shit to me. They don't say it publicly, they just say it to their mate, and his mate agrees and then nods and walks off. It's all fucked anyway, I can't be fucked with it. This is meant to be a fucking comedy podcast too. And I've got bigger fucking problems to worry about anyway. I just put my kid to bed, shut the door, went to have a feed, and he just bursts out crying. I run back into the bedroom. I'm like, what's happening? And he's like, I don't want you to go away with your other family. And I'm like, how did you know about my other family? Who the fuck told you about my second family? And I'm like, what are you talking about, my other family? And he's just howling, fucking bawling his eyes out. And I'm like, tell me, who is my other family? And he can barely talk through the crying. And he's like, you go away with the other family and you never come back. And I'm like, that actually sounds pretty good. Can you tell me a little bit more about my second family? Is it a better family? Like, what's going on? And he's like, I had a bad dream. I don't want to talk about it. And I'm curious now. I need to find out about this second family. So I'm like, what is it? And he's like, I don't want to tell you. And I'm like, just tell me, it's okay. He's like, you went away with your grandma. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you went with your grandma and you never came back. And I'm like, all right, tell me more fucking details about this dream now. Wake up, lights on now. I'm shaking him. I'm like, tell me more. For those of you who don't know, my grandma passed away about 3 weeks ago. And he doesn't really know she passed away. So now I'm starting to get real fucking nervous because I don't like omens like this, especially in dreams, especially amongst my family. Everyone in my family has weird fucking dreams and there's some connection to something. Anyway, I really pay attention to people's dreams. So I'm asking, I'm like, tell me what happened. And he's like, your grandma came and got you and you went away with her and never came back. And I'm like, holy fuck, does this mean I'm going to fucking die? And then he starts bawling again, and my heart's beating a little bit faster, to be honest with you. I wasn't all cool, calm, and collected when I heard that information. So I'm trying to get more details without saying, did I die? Because he doesn't need to be thinking about me dying. He's already dreaming about me going away with my grandma. So I'm trying to get more details about this fucking dream so I can avoid any danger. And he starts telling me about this bird. I don't know what the fucking bird was about. And he said the dream after the one where I went away was about the 3 little pigs. And I'm like, don't worry about the 3 little pigs dream. Fuck the 3 little pigs dream. What happened to Dada? And I couldn't quite decode the dream. So I'm not entirely sure what I need to be looking out for. But if I die, my kid foresaw it in a dream. I don't know whether saying that on this podcast helps me stay alive, or makes me more likely to die. You know how you do that reverse psychology shit? Like, oh, I think I failed the exam. That's actually a bad example for me because I did fail all my exams, and whenever I did say I failed them, I actually did. All right, it's more like when you're going for a court appearance and you say to yourself, oh, I'm definitely going to jail. I'm 100% going to jail. So you're saying you're going to jail to try and trick the gods. I think that's what I'm doing on this podcast right now. But I don't know whether saying it makes me more or less likely to die now. Who knows? We'll find out in the next few days or years. Hopefully years. Hopefully decades. Anyway, let's move on from Syrian bombings and my dream death to a fucked up Friday. It's another fucked up Friday. A little bit of inspiration for the weekend is needed. Let's get on board. This week's fucked up Friday was sent in by an Australian lad over there in Canada, living in Canada now, by the name of Rob. Rob is generic as fuck, so I haven't given anything away. Anyway, let's get to it. So I'd been in Bolivia for about a month with varying levels of food poisoning, so I'd go through phases of diarrhea and vomiting, followed by days of nothing coming out of me. That's brutal, man. I didn't get sick in Bolivia while I was there, but I can't remember eating anything either. I was there for about a month, and I really can't remember eating one meal. I mean, I would have had to at some point, I think. Maybe I squeezed in an empanada somewhere. Or some fucking koi. That's guinea pig for the fucking amateurs out there. My missus and I crossed into Argentina, and I was in a phase of nothing coming out, and she was in a phase of being sick. We were in Salta City. I've been to Salta before. Great place. Can't remember it at all. I was drunk the whole time. We were in Salta City, and after an afternoon of hanging out, we joined up with some people from the hostel and headed to a rugby game between Argentina and Italy. Fuck, that would have been sick. Le Pumas versus the Blue Cunts. After the game, the missus was feeling sick, so we headed back to the hostel. I put the missus to bed and we headed out to the pub to meet the crew from the rugby game. As the crowd thinned out, I ended up in a shout with 3 English lads. Were they paying for their rounds or were they trying to fucking skip? I bet you one of them was trying to skip rounds, weren't they? You gotta fucking watch those pommies in a round. They'll disappear too. We were playing a drinking game off and on where you had to throw a cigarette pack over your glass. If you landed the pack on its long edge, it equaled 2 fingers of beer. If it landed on its end, it was 4 fingers. Sounds like a game you could play with a couple of lovely ladies too. So the tally would accumulate until someone landed it on the flat side. I was doing quite well and we were drinking at the same pace, but all of a sudden I fell apart. These guys were playing me. Suddenly they were landing it on its end every time and I was fucking it up, so I had to scull a full schooner every lap. Bruz, I don't think they have schooners anywhere else but Australia. So a schooner is about 4 sips less than a pint for the exact same price. Fucking cunts. After about 30 minutes of this, I was fucked. I broke away and went to the toilets. The toilet had 1 stall, 3 urinals and a sink. I rushed into the stall and did an explosive diarrhea. The smell was so bad that I suddenly did an explosive vomit. Oof. It arced from the wall in front of me, around the side and into the bowl. I cleaned myself up and left the stall, but there was more. I vomited explosively into one of the urinals, then the next, and then saved a couple of hurls of bile for the sink. Washed my hands and face and went back out feeling refreshed. That's right, get back out there, represent your country, son. The chuck had cleaned me out, so I went for a few more beers and headed back to the hostel. I snuck into the bunk with the missus, but when she turned to say hello, she got one whiff of my breath and made a beeline out of the room. I passed out, but found out the next morning the chatter going around the breakfast room was that some filthy cunt had vomited all the way down the hallway and into the women's toilets. It turns out my horrid breath had made my missus do pretty much the same thing that I had done in the pub. Another fucking shit story. Like feces story. Can you people fucking control your bowels when you're out there? Jesus Christ, every second story is about someone shitting at the moment. But thank you for that. Thanks for the story. Thanks for sending it in. That's it for tonight. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you the fuck later.